Back to follow-up segment tonight, protecting unsupervised American children. As you may know, President Obama signed an initiative called My Brother's Keeper, which encourages American corporations to help children at risk. It's a good initiative. But one of the things that it does not address is the crude culture. The entertainment industry is marketing that crude culture to impressionable kids. Earlier this week, I said the singer Beyoncé, worth an estimated $350 million, does not have to put out a raunchy product that might hurt young girls. Well, the entertainment industry didn't like that at all.
I was going to be talking about my book, and he blindsided me.
That's complete bull. Blindsided him. Simmons knew we were going to talk about the music industry. What do you think? I'm going to give him 6 minutes on his dopey book? I mean, come on. We don't do that for anybody. Simmons is just too frightened to answer the questions. As simple as that. Oh, he blindsided me. What do you live on Mars? I mean, you know what this show is. Joining us now from Washington, Laura Ingraham, who first brought the Beyoncé video to my attention.
Don't blindside me, O'Reilly.
Okay? You know,
I'm really
really
afraid.
I know he meditates a lot, but 24/7? I mean, come on.
Come on,
and he's been
man.
on the show before. He knows what goes
Buttercup.
on. And let me just get this on a record. Our producer told him, hey, we're going to talk about the music industry and what's going on and all of that. But here's the deal with Simmons. This is why I wouldn't answer the question about Beyoncé. There's a lot of money in play here, all right? There's a tremendous amount of money in this entertainment pipeline. This music industry, rap, hip-hop, video, all of it ties in. And the entertainment industry tends to protect its own, and that's why the attacks on me are coming. What say you?
Yeah, Bill, you're right. Beyonce, Jay-Z, they're entertainment royalty, and they circle the wagons to protect their big money makers.
You bet.
I will say, Bill, that they do make moral judgments. This idea that, well, the market dictates it. You know, it's these record companies that are to blame. This is what the public wants. That's a fallacious argument. I mean, they probably would find an audience, Bill, for hip-hop that was, you know, gay bashing or anti-Semitic or had racist undertones or was in some way not palatable or not politically correct. They wouldn't support that. They wouldn't put it out. They wouldn't say, well, there are some in the market who really want this skinhead hip-hop. They wouldn't do it, right? Because we have made a collective judgment as a society that we want to try to, you know, if we can, you know, protect children, the young, the vulnerable, the ones who are already in inner-city environments especially, and underserved communities that need some help.
There are 2 points in play. Number one, Entertainment Tonight, usually a fair program. I don't have a beef with them. They're usually fair to us. But the central core of this is the My Brother's Keeper initiative, and that if you can't change what's going on in the poor precincts unless you change the culture. You got to stop teenagers from having babies. You've got and entertainment. They don't get into any of that. It's just me bashing Beyoncé. But there's a second element, though. Yeah. When you basically are putting yourself out there, all right, to make a judgment that this hurts children. Oh no, you can't do that.
Well,
and that's why we have the problem, because for the past 50 years, who's protected kids in the United States? Who?
Right. Well, it's usually families, and the entertainment industry will just throw up their hands and say, well, parents, you have to do a better job. But I really believe they do make moral judgments, Bill. They're their moral judgments. And if anyone else has a question or says, gee, this not showing Beyoncé essentially looking like a stripper throughout a lot of her video is probably not the best message to send to young girls, whether they be black or Latino or white.
Let me ask you one more question. And by the way, if you're an adult, you watch this all day long.
Watch whatever you want to.
Yeah, well, look, whatever. It doesn't matter to me. Beyonce's $350 million in the bank. And she's talented. She has a good voice. And she could be on Broadway. She could do a lot of things. Why on earth would she choose to do these vehicles? I don't get it. I don't get it.
We can only surmise, right? And maybe she feels like this is the way to remain relevant in a culture that is continually ramping itself up and becoming more and more hypersexualized. I mean, Adele doesn't look like Beyonce maybe, but Adele, you know, just sings. She performs and she has a huge following.
Yeah,
and it's hard to do that. It's hard not to have, you know, all the trappings of the current culture sometimes. You have to stand alone on a stage. You don't lip sync. You perform, and it's hard. And Beyonce does have a lot of talent, and she could be a great role model.
I got Snoop Dogg. He can't do anything else. 50 Cent. He can't do anything else. I mean, I got that. But this woman, she's very talented. And she's supposed to be also, and she knows her talent comes from God. You know, help God out a little bit.
But Bill,
she has.
But Bill, you're not giving her credit. She has come on board the Ban the Word Bossy campaign.
Yeah.
So that's really going to empower girls. This is going to somehow not hurt them. Okay.
I got that later coming up. All right, Laura. Cameron and Rosen up next. The latest on Putin.